The Milwaukee Brewers are making moves as a return from the IL is imminent, and the Brewers have multiple moves to make this happen, including what will happen with Andrew Vaughn and the return of Rhys Hoskins. We're going to be breaking that down in this video, as well as going over another move, which will add Shelby Miller to this lineup in hopes for tonight's game. We got a lot to break down today, ladies and gentlemen. Before we do jump into this video, though, be sure to hit the sub button if you haven't already. The support on these videos have been absolutely incredible over the past little while since we started before the trade deadline, and we have no signs of slowing down just yet. This team is hot. We're heading to the postseason, and we got a lot of stuff coming here in this offseason. We know that just over 98% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel, but I want to first touch on here Andrew Vaughn and what's going on with his possible, sit back with the return of Rhys Hoskins. Now, I want to pull this up immediately because I think this is really the big part of what we've been seeing with this team. Andrew Vaughn has been absolutely nuking the baseball with this Milwaukee Brewers team, which to me at least says that there's no way he's going to the bench with the return of Rhys Hoskins. We're going to be breaking down the possibilities of what could be going on later here in this video, so stick around for that, as well as the Shelby Miller stuff at the end here. But the difference between his games with the Chicago White Sox and his games with the Milwaukee Brewers are, like, they couldn't be farther apart. He has been so good with this Brewers team, while looking at the addition for the from the White Sox when he originally was claimed, was really just a depth piece to add with the Rhys Hoskins injury, and we're going to have an update on that as well when the possible return date is. But taking a look at his average, 377 average, an on-base percentage of 444, and going a bit deeper here into it as well, over an 1100 OPS, he's been doing everything right for this Brewers team, and he's been, he hasn't missed a beat with this team. And with Rhys Hoskins coming back, another first baseman, and also just taking a look at what we're going to be seeing in the depth chart here in a moment, there's going to be some moves that have to be made to be able to fit everybody in this lineup, because we know that Rhys Hoskins really is one of the, bigger power bats that this Brewers team has. We've seen Pat Murphy, Matt Arnold really say that, hey, we're not really going to go out and acquire. We have, and we know what we like, and we have that already on the team. So Rhys Hoskins still, at least from what we thought there, was going to be and still is going to be a major factor in this team when he does return from that, I believe, his thumb injury. And, taking a look at the depth chart right now, Rhys Hoskins, Jake Bauers, both on the IL for 10 days, which is really letting Andrew Vaughn do his own thing on first base. And, for a guy who, at 27 years old, is still playing a phenomenal game and having that, up and down a little bit with Chicago, now coming to Milwaukee and really being back up on that high, I think that there's literally no way you can take him out. I shouldn't say I think. There is no way that you can take Andrew Vaughn out of this lineup, and I want to know what you guys think as well. Do you think Andrew Vaughn has to stay in this lineup? It may be a pretty obvious question, but, would you be really willing to keep him in every game, have him play, sit a couple games, or come into this? It's going to be a different decision that the Brewers have to make, and one that really is not a bad thing, of course, because as you have all of these players coming in and all of these players really being able to stick around here and, have the options, the Brewers are in a W spot no matter what. And we do have a little injury update from Rhys Hoskins. Now, this is what he had said when the injury occurred. I was told about 6 weeks, some are 8, some are 4. So I think pretty conservative is that 6-week mark. So that's what I'm going to have in my head as when I can hopefully rejoin this team. Now, this was July 8th, and today is August 8th, so we're currently at that 4-week mark just about, and we're estimating probably mid to late August for that return. If it is 6 weeks, as you saw there, could be upwards of 8, so we at least have another 1 to 2 weeks with Andrew Vaughn here as the starting first baseman, but coming back is when we're going to see a lot of things going up and down, and as we kind of jump into, this was the last game against the Braves lineup. So we can kind of take a look here at where things are going. And Christian Yelich, we can move him to left field. William Contreras has been on, the DH spot sometimes, but if you move Andrew Vaughn to a DH, you put Rhys Hoskins at first, swap those guys around. It's very hard to take out Blake Perkins in the outfield. It's very hard to also take out Sal Frelick, who just returned as well. Isaac Collins, you can't take him out as good he's playing. There's going to be a lot of movement here, and I think we're going to see some people come out of these games a little bit more than often, but it does definitely seem like Christian Yelich moving to the outfield, having Andrew Vaughn and Rhys Hoskins both in the lineup, one as DH, one on first, will be the most likely option for this team. So I want to know what you guys think about that as well. Is that what you would think you would do with not just Andrew Vaughn going to be remaining in the lineup, but with the return of Rhys Hoskins. I'm very curious to see, and I think that this is a very good problem to have heading into the latter part of this season, and especially when you're going to have a lot of people coming off the IL, and you're going to need to have everybody healthy and rested up for the postseason. So let me know what you think about that. But I did also want to pull this up very quickly from Pat Murphy on the road success. This is just another kind of thing that we see this Brewers team and kind of what this team is structured and built on. Now, this comes from Todd Rosiak on Twitter. I think that sometimes we take too much out of it. The home, the away stuff. The team proves that they like a challenge, and I don't even think they think about it. They're just so hungry. They want to play bad, and and they like playing. You know. So having Pat Murphy come out about this, continuing to say that this team, and this really kind of emphasizes as well what the plan was for the Brewers here at the trade deadline, and they kind of fulfilled that to the T, and coming straight down to, not necessarily going after these big sluggers, not necessarily going after these big names, but getting players who will enjoy playing on this team, who like to play ball and not just there for the money. This is exactly what this Brewers team is built on. Being one of, if not the smallest market in the MLB, and seeing where we are now, there's something special about this team. And I think that's what a lot of players are really starting to recognize, and that's what this team is already built upon. So I want to pull this up because obviously this is such a good thing to see from Pat Murphy, just talking about how this team is structured, because we're not in the locker room. We can get a good idea of what reports are saying, but he's there day in, day out, seeing what these players are acting like and seeing what these players are doing, and they're having fun with it. They love playing, and I think that's a big thing that this team is structured on. But I do have this one more update here on Shelby Miller coming off the IL as well, and the Brewers have made some moves going into this, and the Milwaukee Brewers have optioned Easton McGee to Nashville, presumably to make room for Shelby Miller. And I reported a few days ago, or it may have been yesterday, I can't recall which one, but Shelby Miller would likely be returning on Friday to make his debut for this Brewers team. And as we get into tonight's games and tonight's set of games, I'll pull up that schedule once again. Going now to playing the Mets for 3 games, the Pirates for 3 games, and you guys know the schedule for now. I've been pulling it up in just about every video. They have a very challenging couple games now in the end of the season, and I say a couple, 25 games in 25 days, and I think this is why they're looking at having the return of Rhys Hoskins. Even though, you don't want to sit Andrew Vaughn, you don't want to sit Rhys Hoskins, really, having these players now come in and being able to come in a game out, one game, 2 game, sit a game, come back in. They have so much kind of relief in the locker room that they can do this, and I think they're going to need this here throughout this month, heading into what's going to be a very busy September very busy September and eventually October as well. So I want to know what you guys think about this as well. Are you excited to see Shelby Miller tonight, and are you ready to kind of see what this Brewers team does regarding all of the moves that have to be made over the next couple weeks? With people returning from IL, we got to remember Jacob Mizorowski coming back. Jackson Chourio eventually will also be back later this month. And we know that there's going to be a lot of players that are going to be really anticipating to get back into this lineup. So let me know what you think about all of that. But that's all I got in this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. And you guys, I just want to say once again, your guys' support's been absolutely incredible on these videos. I appreciate all of you guys. And if you're not watching, or if you're watching right now and you're not subscribed, be sure to hit the sub button. I'm going to be keeping you updated with everything regarding the Milwaukee Brewers. But that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.